returns home, and today's verse is verse number 36. Canto 4, titled The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 9, Dhruva Maharaj returns home, and today's verse is verse number 36. Maitreya Uvacha Naivai Mukundasya Padarvindyo Rajojustastat Bhavadrasha Jnana Vanchanti Tadashyamritirtam Atmano Yadrichalabdha Manasam Mridhaya. Maitreya Uvacha Navai Mukundasya Padarvindyo Rajojusata Bhavadrishajnana Yadrishyalabdha Manasham Radhaya. Maitreya Uvacha Navai Mukundasya Padarvindayo Rajojusasta Bhavadrishajnana Vanchanti taddasyamritartam atmano yadra chayalabdhamana samvradhaya. Synonyms: Maitreya Vacha. The great sage Maitreya continued, "Na, never. Why, certainly. Mukundasya, of the Lord, who can give liberation. Padaravindaya, of the lotus feet. Raja Jusas, Raja Jusa, person who are eager to taste the dust. Tata, my dear Vidura. Bhavadrasha, like yourself. Jana, persons. Vanchanti, desire. Tat, his. Dasyam, servitorship. Rite, without. Ritam, interest. Atmana, for themselves. Yadrachaya, yeah, automatically. Labdha, by what is achieved. Manas, samradhaya, considering themselves very rich. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, persons like you who are pure devotees of the lotus feet of Mukunda, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can offer liberation, and who are always attached to the honey of his lotus feet, are always satisfied in serving at the lotus feet of the Lord. In any condition of life, such persons remain satisfied, and thus they never ask the Lord for material prosperity." Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that He is the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor of everything and anything within this creation, and the supreme friend of everyone. When one knows these things perfectly, he is always satisfied. The pure devotee never hankers after any kind of material prosperity. The karmis, jnanis, and yogis, however, endeavor always for their own personal happiness. Karmis work day and night to improve their economic condition. Jnanis undergo severe austerities in order to get liberation, and yogis also undergo severe austerities by practicing the yoga system for attainment of wonderful mystic powers. A devotee, however, is not interested in such activities. He doesn't want mystic powers or liberation or material prosperity. He is satisfied in any condition of life as long as he is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. The Lord's feet are compared to the lotus, wherein there is saffron dust. A devotee is always engaged in drinking the honey from the lotus feet of the Lord, unless one is freed from all material desires. He cannot actually taste the honey from the Lord's lotus feet. One has to discharge his devotional duties without being disturbed by the coming and going of material circumstances. The desirelessness of material prosperity is called niskama. One should not mistakenly think that niskama means giving up all desires. This is impossible. A living entity is eternally existent and he can never give up desires. A living entity must have desires. That is the symptom of life. When there is a recommendation to become desireless, it is to be understood that this means that we should not desire anything for our sense gratification. For a devotee, this state of mind, nishpraha. Nishpraha is the right position. Actually, every one of us already has an arrangement for our standard of material comfort. A devotee should always remain satisfied with the standards of comforts offered by the Lord, as stated in Upanishad, Ashopanishad, Tena yaktena bhujinta, Tena yaktena bhujinta. This saves time for executing Krishna consciousness. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखाभितं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु वच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः. So thank you so much for joining this wonderful Sangha. Today we're discussing this beautiful subject matter where Dhruva Maharaj is returning home, and in this context he is having some regret when he is returning home, and he is experiencing how he started his uh, way to forest with full of desires, and how he saw Vishnuji, as you can see here in this picture, with Garud, benedicting Dhruv Maharaj, and after that, Dhruva Maharaj is returning home, and at that time he's full of regret, and that regret is a beautiful subject matter. The regret of Dhruva Maharaj repenting that what he has done at the outset is a subject matter for all devotees. And in this context, Maitreya Muni, as you know, this is actually a deliberation between Maitreya Muni and Vidurji. And in the recursive loop, they are discussing about Dhruva Charita. And so when Dhruva Maharaj is returning home, while explaining this, Maitreya Muni is saying, Navai Mukundasya Padara Vindaya. That means in the lotus feet of Mukunda, Mukunda means the Lord who gives liberation. Everybody comes in, the people with all kind of desires. They come in to do what? To taste the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. And you know that very well. That's how he's referring so beautifully to Vidurji. He's referring to Vidurji as Tata. That Tat means who is very dear. And he's referring to Vidurji because Vidurji epitomizes bhakti. If you see the sequence of events which unfolded in front of Vidurji, till Vidurji was there, Hastinapur was leading a very prosperous and politically safe kingdomship. But once Vidurji, who had that iota of bhakti when he left, Hastinapur was in shambles. So, recollecting that, Maitreya Muni is referring to Vidurji is you understand that much more than anyone else. Because Vidurji was Jnani personified, was Karmi personified, and was Yogi personified. But he chose Dasyam. He chose Dasyam to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukunda. So beautifully is explained how Dhruva Maharaj is returning, regretting what he did. That regret of Dhruva Maharaj is a subject matter. And if we can understand the regret of Dhruva Maharaj, that how with anger, when he was taken away from the lap of his father, he went and sought a kingdom and he went to meditation with the discipleship, uh, taking Narad Muni as the guru. And then eventually Lord appeared. And and there Srila Prabhupada is also touching on very, very important instructions. The main instruction I would pick on the three which I researched, Prabhupada is quoting from Tena Tyaktena Bhujan Bhujinta. In this Upanishad, there are many Upanishads. One of the prominent Upanishad which Srila Prabhupada cared to translate. All Upanishads are important, but there are four important Upanishads. And one of the prominent Upanishads is Upanishad. And Srila Prabhupada translated Ishopanishad for our benefit. And there, the first verse talks about Tena Tyaktena Bhujinta. That means how much your stomach can absorb, eat that much. This is a very profound subject matter we are going to discuss today. How we can understand this beautiful subject matter is, in this world, there is plenty of gobble up mentality, the mentality to gobble up more than you desire. When that happens, if you've seen that there is uh, a a puddle of rice put on the road, you'll see if that puddle of rice is left on the floor, the birds will come. They eat little bit from there and they go. But if a huge puddle of rice is left on the floor, you'll see human beings not only taking what their hand can take, they'll get bags from their car and start taking the rice which is lying on the floor. That's why when United Nations goes on a food distribution, they make sure they send their folks. Otherwise, it'll be a mayhem because human beings have that gobble up mentality. Gobble up mentality not just for the rice. Here, animals and birds are more civic than human beings who have the gobble up mentality. Upanishad says, Tena Tyaktena Bhujinta. That means eat what your stomach has the capacity for. Don't try to acquire richness, property for 7 generations, thinking that they will make the most of it. You will not be able to make the most of it in this life itself. Tena tyaktena bhujinta. And that is where we have to understand that we are part and parcel of the Supreme. We are parcel of the Supreme. When that parcel doesn't look good, when we, which are part of the parcel, look for our ways of gaining pride, gaining positions, securing things, then as we are part and parcel of the Supreme, the parcel, the whole, looks odd. Think about the body, for example. If we have so many parts of the body, face, hands, legs, if one part of the body doesn't look good, everybody's eyes goes to that part of the body which doesn't look good. We are part and parcel of the Supreme, but we choose to do things in our own way. When we do things in our own way, that whole, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, looks bad. And that is why a devotee of the Lord always makes sure that he is a perfect gentleman. You know why he says he's a perfect gentleman? Because he knows that if he is selfish, he has the gobble up mentality. That whole is going to look like a shady thing. And that is why he is careful. But the people who do not understand, they look good when they're good in the whole, and they find ways to gobble up, and they find ways to, amass more than what they desire. Then the whole looks terrible. The whole looks cute. The whole looks as if there is so many hoots in this situation. So if we have this gobble of mentality of finding selfish ways to look at it, then we are not the parcel of the Supreme. We are finding ways to make ourselves someone. We're finding our own ways to drive things. When Mother Sita was telling Lord Ram that, Ramji, I'm going to give this beautiful necklace. This is the most precious necklace I have. I want to gift it to Hanuman because Hanuman did a lot for us. And Ramji was smiling. Ramji was smiling to Mother Sita internally, thinking, what kind of richness will please the greatest devotee of the Lord, Hanuman? Then Lord Ram smilingly said to Mother Sita, go, give the pearl necklace to Mother Sita. Mother Sita, thinking that she's doing a great service, counter service, reciprocation to Hanumanji, gave the most precious necklace to Hanumanji. And Hanumanji was seeing the Hanumanji was seeing the necklace, and he was trying to look for his master in each of the particles of the necklace, and and he was trying to open up the necklace, trying to see. He was seeing in this particle. He was trying to see Ramji in this, Ram and Sita in this particle, and this particle, and then he couldn't find Lord Ramji and Mother Sita in any of this. As you can see, all the pearls from the necklace are unstrung, and Hanumanji is looking for his master in each of the pearl, and he couldn't find it. So he broke it. He had no value. He saw no value in the necklace, and he broke the pearl. And as you can see, the pearls are lying around. So when the four Kumaras went to see, uh, he had a they had a scuffle which broke out with Jay and Vijay, and that was a very nice pastime which you all have relished 1 year ago when we were covering that in the prior verses. They were big gyanis. They were seeking liberation by acquiring knowledge. The knowledge was there, but the eye of the knowledge, which we call Jnana Chakshu, hadn't opened up. The knowledge was theoretically there in the four Kumaras. But once the smell from the Tulsi Chandan, from the lotus feet of the Lord, entered their nostrils, when their vision got clear sight of Lord Vishnu, that Jnana Chakshu, for which they spent days and months traveling and acquiring knowledge, the four Kumaras, was not open. Then that same Jnana Chakshu opened up when their nostrils smelled chandan and tulsi from the lotus feet of the Lord, and they saw the beautiful effulgence form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Jnana Chakshu, Jnana may be there, but the Jnana Chakshu opens up when that melts with bhakti. If by doing bhakti, we are thinking that we are doing this, trying to make a room for ourselves, make a territory for ourselves, the parcel, we are part and parcel of the Supreme. That parcel will look bad. And if anybody has understanding of it, they will seek very little for them. They will seek what they need. Tena taktena bhujinta. Eat how much your stomach demands. Don't overeat. Written in Isopanitsad, the first verse, which Srila Prabhupada is quoting in this beautiful purport, that this gobble up mentality. There are four Vedas, Rig Veda, Samveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda. There are 108 Upanishads, and one of the prominent Upanishad is Ishopanishad. Ishopanishad is very prominent. Kena Upanishad is prominent. Katha Upanishad is prominent. Prashna Upanishad is prominent. Mundaka Upanishad is Mandukya Upanishad is prominent. There are few Upanishads which are prominent. Ishopanishad is prominent. And Srila Prabhupada cared to translate that. And there are, 18 prominent Mahapuranas and 18 Upapuranas, and Bhagavad Purana is the one of the most prominent Puranas. It's Amala Purana, and that's what we're discussing today. So from this Upanishad, Srila Prabhupada is quoting in his Srimad Bhagavatam verse, Tena Tyaktena Bhujinta. How much you can digest, how much your stomach demands, that much you absorb. Don't gobble up. Don't try to seek things and create disturbance of the parcel, because we look good when the parcel looks good. We look terrible when we try to create our own way and our own concocted uh, way of doing things. And that is when everybody stays within a limit and looks at the whole, the parcel, the whole. We are just the part, but we look good when our part in the parcel looks good. That's why we are parcel of the Lord. And creating disturbance in a community, creating disturbance in uh, the Krishna consciousness is a very heinous crime. And that's when people start seeking to keep themselves ahead of the Lord. That community goes for disaster. And this is a repentment. Dhruva Maharaj is happening when he tried to seek a kingdom bigger than his father and grandfather. And that is the essence of today's discussion. The repentment of Dhruva Maharaj is a lesson for all of us. And Srila Prabhupada is so beautifully explaining by quoting from Upanishads' first verse that don't gobble up, use what you need for your sustenance. And and we discussed about Hanumanji, we discussed about the four Kumaras, that only by loving devotional service to the Lord, our jnana, our karma, our yoga, or any form of yoga for that matter, looks better and looks finer. Because unless that transcends into a reciprocation of to the Supreme, and we experience it, we experience that happiness by the process of bhakti, all this jnana, karma are meaningless. And that is a beautiful realization by Dhruva Maharaj, which we can take to our hearts and start our day. So thank you so much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Amidran Prabhu. I would like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day today and this week. I would like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shri Nrsimha
Shri
Jai Nrsimha Jai
Nrsimha
Jai
Jai
Nrsimha
Nrsimha Jai
Prahladesha
Nrsimha
Jaya
Prabhupada
Padmamukha
Jai
Padmabhringam
Gram
Ugravidam
Ugravidam
Mahavishnu Jvalantam
Mahavishnavarantam
Sarvatmukam Nrsimham
Sarvatomukham
Bhishyanam
Bhishana
Bhishyanam Nityam Namamiham.
Bhattacharyamantam Namamyam.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai, Prahlad
Jai
Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Samar Vaishnavas.
Boy.
Vanchakalpatarubhaisya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavane vayo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Vaishnava
Vaishnavinda ki jai, Granth
Jai
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai
Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Gaur Premanande
Hari
Hari.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Jagannath Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
everyone.
everyone.